Q&A.
First one.
Thank you to all of you that have subscribed to the channel and left questions and followed us on Facebook. It's rapidly growing.
We got quite a reaction for those questions, didn't we?
Yeah, so without further ado, let's jump into it.
Yeah, we got a lot of them, so let's go.
At 3479 asks, general feelings about remakes or reboots of the films from the past.
Ooh. For the most part, I do not like them. There's been a few here and there that I like. I like the new Evil Dead, for instance. But especially when it comes to horror, I really, really do not like it. Friday the 13th sucked. Texas Chainsaw sucked. All of them. That's terrible.
There's a reason that I don't like reboots and remakes. Normally they touch films that were good the first time around, so I don't know why you need to update them. Sure, you want to get them on younger eyes and all, but they should go to the video store and just rent them instead of remakes.
Right, you don't see anybody remaking the classics, you know, like Gone with the Wind or Wizard of Oz.
Exactly, and there's a reason, because they're classics.
Exactly. Well,
I mean, some reboots work. I did enjoy the Amazing Spider-Man reboot more than the other Spider-Man.
Reboots are a little bit different bird, though, because they're restarting the series.
Exactly. If they're planned out and have, like, a story that's going on for 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah, like Batman.
Yeah,
the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah.
Those I can understand. Reboots are better than remakes to me.
Absolutely, I would agree. Remakes,
Alright, WWF Soccer 19. What's your favorite sports movie?
I would have to say, just off the top of my head, being fresh to the question and not really thinking about it, I would have to say Slapshot.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. I like Slapshot. How about you? Ooh, stumped him.
It's not really a sports movie, but I've always enjoyed Field of Dreams.
It's kind of a sport. It's baseball related.
He gets to play baseball again with his dad.
Right. Right, and it centers around baseball. So yeah.
And it was filmed here in Iowa.
Exactly. So yeah, I like that.
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Exactly. Good pick.
I've watched that film actually at the Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner there.
There you go. Can't go wrong.
The wrestling team has a few questions. Do you think the zombie apocalypse movie genre is starting to get stale since there has been a lot of zombie-themed movies that have come out in the past year?
For the most part, yes. But there are, good ones out there. You just got to kind of dig for them a little bit. I was surprised I liked World War Z as much as I did, but even then, I didn't really consider that to be like a zombie flick.
See, it's always interesting because you get these influx of certain type of movies every year. Like, vampires were hot for a long, long time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now it's zombies.
Yes.
What's next? Mummies, werewolves again.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes in cycles. It'll die out, and then something else will take its place.
If somebody comes up with a fresh idea, I'm not against giving it a shot or whatnot, but there's just not a lot of fresh ideas out there.
Like, the movie Warm Bodies was really good to me because it was a different take on zombies.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you got to dig for them, but, I mean, some of them aren't bad, but like you said, a lot of them are going downhill.
And a lot of them are, like, the same story.
Right.
All right. Will you guys also review animated anime movies?
It's not a strong suit of mine. I guess I've maybe only watched maybe a couple of anime movies. Ghost in the Shell.
Anime movies aren't really my thing. Animated movies, that's kind of a different thing. Like, if there's another Toy Story, yeah, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, I do like animated movies, don't get me wrong. I did like Frankenweenie, and I liked Paranorman last year. But anime itself, it's not really a strong suit of mine. I haven't really gone back and watched a lot of them. Like I said, Ghost in the Shell is probably my tipping point.
So animation, yes. Anime, probably not so much. What movies did Metal D act in?
I was in
self-promotion. Go for it.
I was in a short film called Boo, which you can find on YouTube. In fact, we may just go ahead and put that link right down there. I also acted in a short film called Call Me Crazy recently, and I think that we could probably put the trailer down there as well for you guys to check out. It hasn't been released on DVD or anything like that yet, but you can check out the trailer, and I am in the trailer, so we'll put both of those links down below for you.
Alright. DTS Cool. Do you think Dumb and Dumber is one of the greatest comedies of all time like I do?
Me, personally, no.
I think that Dumb and Dumber is one of Jim Carrey's better movies. Greatest comedy of all time? Probably not.
Jim Carrey's better movies, huh?
Yeah.
Excluding Eternal Sunshine.
Excluding. I love Eternal Sunshine.
Okay, fair enough.
And The Truman Show.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dante's 61680. What's your favorite comic book movie?
Ooh, ouch. Does this include like graphic novels and stuff like that?
Yep, everything.
Oh gosh, it's hard to pinpoint one. Even though it has been panned by its fans and stuff like that, I really still like to watch them. I really do.
I like to watch them, and I was a huge fan of the comic. For me, I'm gonna go with Scott Pilgrim. It was close to the source material. I enjoyed the comic, so yeah, I enjoyed.
I like that movie too. Don't get me wrong, but I always turn back to The Watchmen. Maybe it's just because it was so hard to film, and everybody said that it couldn't be filmed.
Exactly, and there were things that they had to change.
And Snyder pulled it off.
Draven G, thoughts on the horror genre nowadays? I'll just let you answer this one.
Again, sort of like the zombie question that we had earlier, you gotta kind of dig for the good stuff. There have been good horror movies here and there, but you gotta really, really look for them. For instance, Let the Right One In. I enjoyed that. That came out a couple years ago. Not a lot of people saw that until they remade it and they Americanized it, which was a good American version of it called Let Me In. But you still got to dig for it, and a lot of the good horror stuff, sad to say, is foreign.
It is.
You know, I mean, whether it's the French making something, or whether it's Japan, or even Korea now is getting into the horror genre a lot more, you got to dig for it, and if you're willing to dig for it, you will find something good. But American horror is, if you ask me, it's pretty much dead.
The original King of New York City. Worst movie you've seen that's bad enough to a point of not being funny, or worst movie you've seen that's not bad enough to a point of being funny, just plain bad.
Worst movie? That's almost like asking me what the worst movie I saw.
I'm gonna go with Jonah Hex. That movie had no redeeming qualities. Not even Megan Fox. I'm sorry, that movie was just bad.
Caddyshack 2.
There you go. MC Brad. Whose movies are generally the worst, Superman or Green Lantern? Green Lantern's only had one movie.
Green Lantern's only had one, so I guess I would have to say Green Lantern.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we don't have a lot to compare there.
When was the last time a movie left you wanting more because it was so good?
I can answer this question. It was a movie that I saw earlier this year. I don't think that you've seen it. It's called The Place Beyond the Pines. The characters in this movie, I just wanted to follow along even more. It was a 2.5-hour movie or so, but it didn't feel like that you sat there for 2.5 hours because you got roped into the story. The characters made it flow, and I just wanted to see more. I enjoyed that movie a lot. It's definitely in my top 2 or 3 that I've seen this year. So yeah, The Place Beyond the Pines for me.
For me, Inglourious Basterds. I really wanted that movie to be longer. I wanted to get more into the characters.
Sure.
There were so many characters in the Bastards that you just never found anything out about.
Right.
And I could have done with.
They gave you little pieces here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, OTRS fans. Will you guys be giving out spoilers in your reviews?
I personally would prefer not to, but there might be that occasional slip up.
We're not going to tell you, this is the end of the movie, that type of thing, but...
We might tell you that we don't like the ending or something like that. What we'll try to do is that, hey, if we're going to give you a spoiler, we'll say, hey, spoiler alert or something like that, but I'm going to try to avoid it because I think it's best for you guys to go out there and judge the movies. Just don't go based on our opinions. We'll give you our opinions, but don't go based on our opinions. Go see them for yourself.
Right. Golden Eagle 407, are you a fan of silent movies? And will you review any?
I like some silent movies. I've watched several Buster Keaton movies. I have watched some of the old Laurel and Hardy silent movies. I've seen The Artist. Does that count? So I like them. I don't know if it's one of those things that we will review on a regular basis. Maybe we would reserve something like that to a marathon of some sort. You know, maybe.
Or if, say there was one released
recently.
Artist.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll do that.
Ida Cashman. Do either of you have any interest in Godzilla films aside from a passing interest? Mine is just a passing interest.
I would have to say mine is too. I mean, aside from the very first Godzilla movie, I think it was maybe, what, 54 or something like that. Really liked that one, big fan of that. After that, you know, it was almost kind of silly, you know, almost kid-like, but...
Real JMC Productions. Favorite horror movie villain? Is yours Leatherface?
Yeah, I would say, you know, probably Jason's up there too, you know, because he was so indestructible and you just rooted for him, you know. Kill these kids.
Yeah, I've always liked Freddy Krueger because there's a little bit of comedy in there. He's
sure.
like, I'm going to fuck with you before I kill you.
Right, yeah.
Wrestling fan Tabata. Who would you cast as Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Lex Luthor? Flash, Ryan Reynolds. I know he's played Green Lantern, but he's the perfect guy for Flash. I'm sorry.
Wonder Woman, I would pick, I can't recall her name right off the top of my head, but if you guys have seen the movie Haywire, the chick that was in Haywire, her, Wonder Woman.
Lex Luthor, I'd bring back,
Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey is alright, but I'd bring back Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville.
Sure.
A little bit older.
Sure. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Aquaman. I don't really like Aquaman. I don't have anybody in mind.
I don't even.
Adrian Greer from Entourage.
I'll go along with that.
Because that's what he made in the show. So.
There you go.
Gonna skip some of these just to try and get a few more of these in. Kyle Christopher, I'd love to know what you think about Mystery Science Theater 3000 and what your favorite movie from that series is. I don't really have a favorite movie from that series, but I enjoy watching Mystery Science Theater. Always have.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch much of it. You know, maybe an episode here or there. I really wasn't a big fan. I'm not a really huge fan of anything on TV, really.
RFV089, what is your opinion of the new Star Wars episodes coming up in the next couple of years?
I, for one, I am excited for them.
I'm excited for them. I'm looking forward to the individual films outside of like the series. Like the first one's supposed to be about Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the next movie supposedly is about Boba Fett.
Yep.
And everybody loves Boba Fett. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Getting Lucas away from it and bringing in some fresh blood into it, and I think it's going to do a whole heck of a lot of good. And I'm really looking forward to them. You know, J.J. Abrams, hey, couldn't pick a better director for him, I don't think.
Well, since we have so many questions, we'll end this for now, but we'll have a part 2 coming up very soon.
See you soon.